Alright gang, if you are struggling to work on your notes and put them in the format that I'm looking for, presumably we're going to have a little bit of trouble getting that transferred into our papers and making sure that our works cited are correct. So what I want to do is I want to continue the examples here. This will be an optional video for everybody. It should be helpful if you've forgotten what we showed you in class. So here we are on week 10. Notice we're looking at what causes governments to change. We're also looking at how the social classes, slavery, and gender systems change from ancient to classical times. Here is the week overview. If you want to watch that, you're certainly welcome to. We're going to go down here to Monday. We will click on Modern Monday hook/background essay. When we get there, we're going to go past the hook. We're going to go to the background essay. We're going to open it up. Here it is. When you get here, what you want to do is you want to control and wheelie ball down to about 33%. That'll make it the full page for you. And I'm going to go ahead and click minimize on this window so that I can move it around and do what I need to do with it. The other thing that I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to open up my sample notes. I've made some sample notes in my Google Drive. We've already showed you that. So I'm just going to go ahead and pull those out here. And very simply, we're going to have the two next to each other. So let me go ahead and resize this for you here. Make sure that you can see everything in the window that you have. And so as you can see, here is my example. So what I want to do then is I want to start with the full citation. So my source number 1 is going to be answering the question or prompt Athens or Rome, which system is better. And then I want to put the full citation in here. So tab that back. I'm going to move my hanging indent so it gives me plenty of room on my paper. Even that up there. And essentially what's going to happen is I'm going to have to edit that out, fighting with the formatting. What we're going to do then is we're going to get the full citation here. So we're going to go to the citation machine. We're going to choose MLA formatting. And I'll make this just a little bit bigger here for you so you can see it all. So we're on a citation machine, and what we're going to do is we're going to choose what we're citing. We're citing a website. The article title is going to be the DBQ background essay. The author, it's actually an editor, is going to be the DBQ project. If you're wondering where I'm getting these from, when you go back and look at the background essay, if we zoom in a little bit here, you can see on the page, and in fact it's done by the DBQ project down here at the bottom. Let's zoom out just a little bit. And essentially it's part of the packet. If you look on the cover of the packet, that's where I'm getting some more of that information. But the DBQ project is the editor down there by the copyright. The title of the article, as we talked about, is the background essay. It's Athens and Rome citizenship mini-Q, so let's go back and add that. Let's be as precise as possible. Mini-Q. Alright. There is no first name because, again, it's an editor and it's a company. The website title is going to be World History. There it is, Mr. Daniels. The publisher is going to be Kearney Blackboard, obviously, through Kearney R1 School District. Let's not display the URL on this one. It's going to take up a lot of room on our notes, but we'll go back to the page. We're going to highlight the URL, Control C. We're going to go back to the citation machine, put the cursor here, Control V, paste the URL. The published date, this was actually published in 2011 as we looked up. There is no month, there is no day, so we will leave that blank. And the date that we accessed it is actually, as I look at my computer, it is 10 12, whoops, so 2014, the month is October, and the day is 12. So we'll click on Make Citation. And the nice thing about it is the citation is right here. So for our notes purposes, we're going to copy to paste the citation. We're going to go back to our sample notes here, and I'm going to hit Control V. That will paste the citation in there. Now the thing that you want to do is you want to tab this over. You want to backspace it, backspace it, backspace it. Whoops, that's as far as we get here. I'm going to go down here. I'm going to hit backspace, enter, tab. I'm going to hit tab here and then backspace, and that formats it correctly. So we now know that we're working with a full citation. We're going to go underneath here. We're going to do a subheading, and it's actually going to be what goes in the paper so that we can keep track of that. Now what we can do is right here it says your citation. Next to it says parenthetical, so we click on the parenthetical. And the citation machine will tell us exactly what goes in the parenthetical, with the exception of we need to know that we are adding the paragraph. So in our notes, we're going to go ahead and put in the DBQ project. So we're going to go Control V right there, the DBQ project. And inside there, we're going to start with paragraph 1. And what I'd like to do with this is do a brief summary of paragraph 1. Now, for those of you who are a little bit more advanced, you're going to notice that there's a skill here that could very well be used. Another thing that you could change a little bit would be citizenship in Athens and Rome, which was the better system. You could put that in for the title of the article. You can call it the background essay. Either way is fine. But one of the reading skills that we're going to use, and we've talked a little bit about, is the skimming of a response. Now, with the size of this, I don't necessarily recommend skimming. I recommend reading. But what we want to do is we want to pay attention to those bold words. We want to pay attention to the maps. And essentially, we're just going to summarize this first paragraph. So as you read it, boom, here you go, your eyes and the skimming technique. We're going to skim right along here. We're going to see the bold. We're going to read around the bold. We're going to see people were citizens of a state or empire. That being a citizen meant not only meeting certain responsibilities, but also enjoying certain rights. This could be a key statement for us. We're going to continue to skim here. Here go our eyes, grabbing these words in the middle. As you continue to roll through here, your eyes are going to pick up the stuff on the edges. Continuing quickly down here. Alright, and then you should read the last sentence. So always read the first sentence and the last sentence. But by the 6th century BCE, a new idea was emerging that ordinary people should play a more significant role in the life of the state. Now, that's just a reading skill for reading quickly through sources and stuff that you would be researching in the future. For this one, we're going to read them all together. But essentially, to summarize this paragraph, it's about citizens, it's about their responsibilities, it's about their rights, and it's about how previously they had been thought of as subjects. So let's go back to our notes page, and let's put that brief summary right here next to paragraph 1. Okay, so I'll make this a little bit bigger here for you so you can see it. Take care of my typos, right click there. In Greece, citizens became more than subjects. They started getting rights and responsibilities, period. Alright, so then if there are any details that we want to include, we will note those here underneath there in a 3, any quote, summary, or paraphrase. And I'm going to go ahead and grab a direct quote. The direct quote that I like in this paragraph is, "This was the notion that people were citizens of a state or empire." And I'm going to go at the beginning of this, I'm going to go ... which tells me that it's already started. And I'm going to say citizens. And I see that that's off the screen there, so let me move this down just a hair. Okay. Citizens of a state or empire, comma, and that being a citizen meant not only having, not only meeting certain requirements, responsibilities, and let's move this up a little bit here so you can see it. Whoops. But also enjoying certain rights. I'm not going to put a period here because in my paper, when I'm going to copy and paste this right in there, I will then put the citation for the DBQ project paragraph 1. So that would be the citation that would go in there. Now, the nice thing about this is that I can copy this right here, Control C, come down here. I don't think that I'll add anything else from paragraph 1, so I'm going to go ahead and backspace out of this. So Shift Tab, backspace, and we're going to hit Control V, and this is going to be paragraph 2. Tab over. Let's go back up here to the summary. And let's read paragraph 2. Citizenship is a status or standing given by a government to some or all of its people. In the modern world, we're going to move over just a little bit. Citizenship often involves a balance between individual rights, such as the right to vote, and individual responsibilities, such as the duty to serve one's country. This balance has been called the social contract theory of citizenship. The individual does his or her part. The nation or state does its part. Now, if I'm reading this and doing the skimming thing that we talked about earlier, I would read the first sentence, look at all the rest of the words in the middle of the paragraph, and read the last sentence. The nice thing about this is that social contract theory of citizenship is bolded, and it should jump out to you because we've already seen the social contract theory talked about quite a bit in class. The introduction of it was the mandate of heaven in China. And we're going to then see the social contract theory again, as we talked about on Modern Monday, in the Declaration of Independence, the French Revolution, the Magna Carta, the instatement of rights, and all the things that we will talk about in the Enlightenment at the end of the semester. So this is a big key idea here that comes about even in Greece. So we're going to see this idea over and over again. So let's click on our notes page. And let's summarize this paragraph. Essentially, this paragraph is about citizenship is a standing. Let's say is a status that comes with rights and responsibilities, just like we talked about above. So we're not going to say that necessarily. What we want to say is citizenship is correlated to the social contract theory. Okay, let's expand this a little bit, make sure I got my typing correct. Scroll over, social contract theory. Boom, there it is. All right, now, any details that we're going to get? Here's 3 from this. I'm probably going to want to steal the definition of the social contract theory as a direct quote. So let's go in and add it. And I need to move this over just a hair. Scrolling. Let's see if I can type a little better this time. And we're going to put a frame on this. The balance we're going to add something to this quote in the middle here. So let me get some brackets. Whoops. Bracket, rights and responsibilities We add this in here because your reader doesn't know what the balance is. If they read the quote, they have no idea what the balance is because they haven't read the document that you read, but clearly you're going to add it in so they know, and we're talking about the balance. So let's pick that up right back over here. Has been called the social contract theory, of citizenship. Boom. There it is. Oh, resist the urge to put the period. Know that your period comes after the DBQ project paragraph 2. Now, I don't think that there's anything else from here that I want, so I'm going to backspace this out. I'm going to hit Control V. That's going to give me my next parenthetical citation, and this is going to be paragraph 3. Boom, just like this. So then we're going to read paragraph 3, and we are going to summarize paragraph 3. So let us take to it. Now, it is probably accurate to say that in the city-state of Athens, the emphasis was more on citizen responsibility than citizen rights. The great Athenian leader Pericles said that Athenians who did not fully participate in voting, political debate, and holding office were useless. The Greek philosopher Aristotle did him one better by declaring such Athenians to be beasts. It seems that many Athenians agreed participating in government and making the city-state, scrolling up to the top, work was simply what good citizens should do. Citizenship was an action verb. Okay, so let us go back to the notes page. We're looking at paragraph 3, and we're talking about a quick summary of this paragraph. Essentially, it's about Athens. So in Athens, citizenship was more focused on responsibilities. Citizenship was more focused on responsibilities. So there's a summary of the paragraph. If you use this summary, that's fine. Again, it needs to be sourced. So we're going to get some details. There's some solid quotes in here that can be used in your paper. So let's go ahead and look at them. There's always name calling. That gets people's attention. The Greek philosopher Aristotle did him one better by declaring such Athenians to be beasts. That could be a quote that could be thrown in there. Another quote that could be thrown in there was, it seems that many Athenians agreed. Participating in government and making the city-state work was simply what good citizens should do. Now, this can even be further quoted down into citizenship was an action verb. So what you're talking about here is catching people off guard, especially in America. This could be a solid grabber in your paper. Citizenship was an action verb. People are going to say, first of all, action verb, citizenship. Citizenship isn't a verb necessarily, and an action verb to say the least. So it's going to kind of set their mind rolling. So keep an eye on that. As we continue through, I'll do a couple of these examples in class to kind of catch the rest. Obviously, I'm over my 15-minute time limit here, so thank you for your attention. If you have any questions about this, we will be happy to go through them in class, or shoot me an email, danielc@ksdr1.net. Thank you for your patience, and I look forward to working with you on this DBQ project this week. Again, our goal is to be 85% at 85% on the upcoming rubric.